Hi there, welcome back to my channel, Whispering Willow Oracle. Today we're going to be not looking at your current energies, but into what will be happening for you during this eclipse, this lunar eclipse. I'm going to be doing another video on a solar eclipse, but this is going to focus on the first part of this eclipse season. The lunar eclipse is occurring in the sign of Libra on March 24th. These energies are going to be different depending on what your rising sign is. I'm going to be reading primarily each sign from the rising sign, but please take the messages that resonate. And I do recommend looking at your sun, moon, rising, Venus, different signs that you have, especially Venus, because this lunar eclipse that's happening in Libra is ruled by Venus. So maybe go online and find out what your Venus sign is. There's lots of ways to do that. You can go and find a really easy method is just looking up your birth chart, entering in all the information that you have, and finding what your sign is for Venus. So without any further delays, I'm going to get into the readings. We're going to start with Pisces today, just because we are coming out of Pisces season, and we're still feeling the energies for that, or at least I am, and I'm kind of feeling like that's where I want to start, so that's where we're going to start. Okay, so Pisces. On the bottom of the deck, I saw the Sun card, but I kind of got it in the sense of a rising sun, so the dawn, and that we're not quite at the dawn, but it's something that you have in your future. Okay. Let's get into the reading for Pisces for the lunar eclipse energy. Oh, we have the Tower that just popped out. The lunar eclipse energy on March 24th. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing Pisces with information. I forgot to mention, timestamps will be listed below, so please find where your, what your signs are, what signs you want a reading for, and below you can find the timestamps and be directed directly to those signs, or you can watch the whole video depending on what your interests are. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing Pisces collective with information and messages today. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, providing the collective, the Pisces collective, with messages today. Let me get a couple of oracle cards here, just to complete the energies that I want to pick up in this reading. Here, I just need to organize this a little bit better so we have some space. Okay, sorry about that, Pisces. We had a little bit of a shake up here with the cards, with the oracle cards that I was grabbing. And it's interesting because the very first card I pulled out for your sign was the Tower card. And I'm not getting that, it's going to be anything super serious, but I do think there's going to be something unexpected occurring for you with this lunar eclipse energy. So this time period, March 24th going until April 8th, is kind of the in-between period between both of the lunar and the solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse that is happening on April 8th. So I think during this time, something very unexpected is coming in for you here. We have, beside it, we have the 10 the Ten of Cups. So I feel like whatever is happening in your life, even if what is occurring is unexpected, it might be shocking, but what it's bringing into your life is actually extremely positive here with the Ten of Cups. It's going to be improving your home life, your relationships. It's going to be leaving you feeling a sense of joy, bliss, peace, happiness, fulfillment, kind of like some of the best feelings here, but it's an unexpected like spark. So for your energy, we had two come out. We had the Arrow with surround yourself with protective energy, and Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So I think this is about protecting your psyche, protecting your intuition. And when I say protecting, it could be that you maybe shared a thought, a feeling, an intuitive feeling you had with someone, and it wasn't received well, or the people around you weren't overly supportive, and you were looking for support here. And I think that for you in the past, you've allowed that energy to get under your skin. Like when someone doesn't see so Pisces are very spiritual, they're very intuitive energy, right? So if you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, you tend to be someone who has, psychic abilities here. And so it might be that your psychic abilities are very on point, they're very precise, and those around you who don't want to listen, it used to be upsetting to you. You used to like maybe not trust yourself so much because you had doubtful people around you, but now you're starting to see that things are coming true. You're being confirmed and reaffirmed often, and with a lot of power, and it's giving you you're taking a lot of trust in that. You're starting to learn to have a lot of trust in your intuition. And I think that that's a new thing for you, but you're going to be gaining. I'm going to pull some cards about your boundaries, but I think this is kind of referring to one of the boundaries that you're going to be creating for yourself here, because with a lunar eclipse, a lot of the energy has to do with, what are you releasing, but also what is being revealed. And so I'm going to be looking at what you're healing and forgiving, what is being revealed in your life, what is being released, and how are you creating boundaries and things like that. So I'm definitely getting here that you have, you're creating a lot of boundaries for yourself. Oh yeah, so you're definitely having a shakeup in your plans. The way you thought something was going to go is, it's not going to go as planned here. We have milestone, and I'm just going to get this card here that fell on the floor. We have friends and colleagues. Okay. Fragmented energy. And Angels of the Four Directions. All right, let's get into this energy here. So in this section, we have this healing energy, but what leads to the healing and what leads to the forgiveness is actually something falling apart, something falling completely apart here. It's an unexpected change. It's something you weren't planning. You never saw it coming. I don't want to say that it's a negative thing because it leads to this beautiful Ten of Cups energy, but it could be maybe taking away a false Ten of Cups. This Tower moment is curing or healing a delusion about a Ten of Cups that you had. It's shifting up your plans. It's shifting up what you thought you were going to do here in the future. It's creating space for something new to come in. And I think there's going to be a lot revealed here to you, but you need to have patience. I think here what is being revealed to you with these energies here, with the Daughter of Pentacles, or the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Wands, this energy to me is revealing to you patterns in your own behavior, or patterns in the behavior of people around you. And because it came out with the friends and colleague, I think it has to do more with others than with yourself, but please take this as it resonates. I think it's going to be revealed to you who you cannot rely on, who is an unreliable source of energy, source of, maybe causing frustrations in your life. It's a person who just can't be trusted to come through for you, someone who you thought you could trust, but just at the end of the day, they're really, really lacking in supportiveness. They don't follow through on their words. They don't come through for you when it really matters. And I think here with the Five of Wands, it's going to be revealed kind of petty competitions that people put, like, I am actually not sensing that you are a competitive person. I think you're a very impressive person that people secretly compete with. They think they're competing with you, but they're not even close to being on your level. But you should never be competitive with your friends or family, and I'm getting here that you're maybe learning that there are people who are not working with your best interest in mind, because they're actually competing with you. Even though you thought that they were a friend and you thought that they were someone you could rely on, they're actually competing against you here. And so these people are coming to the forefront. They're being revealed. And I think this is kind of something that you're going to have to come to terms with. And you're going to have to understand that there's going to be people in your life that just cannot be, unfortunately, they can't be trusted. And I think you're going to cut them very swiftly out of your life, because I think you're the type of person that once you see this, once you understand this, you're not going to have any tolerance for it at all. And I think you're releasing this energy of being the person that everyone goes to for assistance, right? You're the person who constantly is providing for others and being a source of stability for others without receiving that in return. And that is a really wonderful energy to have, especially in giving and receiving and reciprocal relationships. You're a wonderful person. Like, this energy here is a beautiful partnership energy, someone who you would want on your side, and you are that person. However, you've been giving that energy away to sources who don't give back to you, and you're starting to realize who those people are, and you're starting to reject them, and you're starting to take your energy back here, or at least that's what what I think Spirit is recommending you do, and that you take that personal responsibility for your own energy and stop giving it away to those who don't deserve it. You're a very giving, generous person here with your energy, but there's a lot of people who do not deserve that from you. And I'm seeing here that you're prioritizing a lot of your personal boundaries in relationships. You're taking on this really wonderful, like, divine masculine role, this divine masculine energy, and this can be for a man or a woman. This applies to all people. Divine masculine and divine feminine energies, that's not necessarily associated with a gender or sex. It can be, it doesn't have to be. So take it as resonates. But this Father of Cups here, very supportive, strong, but gentle and compassionate, and a good provider emotionally. He's emotionally stable, emotionally mature, and that is your energy. That's you here. That's you coming out of this very, like, disappointed. You're disappointed, but you're also realizing who deserves your energy, and that could be you, right? You could be giving this energy back to yourself. You could be giving this energy back to the people who you realize are actually there for you, the people who really matter. And part of that's, you know, the process of maturing. Like, we all grow up and we have these friends, and as we get older, we kind of realize some of them might not be the best for us. They might not have our best interests, even though we have their best interests at heart. And we start to pull back. And I think you're slowing your energy here. We have fragmented energy in reverse. And I think that this energy here that you're pulling back this, it's like your energy is dispersed out to so many people, like colleagues, friends, family, acquaintances, all these responsibilities, and people who you feel that you owe your time and energy to, and you're pulling the energy back in, and you're unifying your energy. You're slowing it down. You're not so frenetic. The energy is calming down. It's coming back into yourself, bringing that energy back in here after a major revelation about falseness. And it's going to be changing some plans that you thought you had, but I think that at the end of the day, it's going to bring you to this place where you're really, really content with where you spend your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical energy. At the end of the day, you want to be happy with when you're tired. It's like when you're tired at the end of the day here, you want to feel satisfied with where you spent that energy. And I think you're going to be actually coming into, we have milestones here in your future position. So I always get with this, a wedding. I think it's just because of, you know, just typical white kind of weddings thing. It could be a graduation. It could be some other milestone you meet in your career. But I'm getting that for you, Pisces, this is a very love, relationship oriented reading. And I'm getting that this is more to do with a potential wedding in the future, a big relationship that's coming through here. I think you're going to be renegotiating and reevaluating your who you're vulnerable with, who you go back and forward with your energy. It's kind of like, who do you want to be reciprocating energy with? Who do you feel like owes you and you owe them, or you want to be in debt to this person because, like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, you're indebted to this person, this other person's indebted to you, and you wouldn't have it any other way. And I don't know if that's like when you combine your finances or something. So that's why I'm getting like a wedding energy here, or like a marriage, or a deeper commitment, a more long-term commitment. Could also be, like I said, with finances. This could be a partnership, opening up a business with finally, you know, trusting one person, or finding the right people who are supportive, mutually supportive with you, because you have a lot of energy that you give to others, and you want to start surrounding yourself with people who give back. And, you know, that's not the whole point of giving. The whole point of giving isn't just to get back what you gave, but if you find yourself in a place where you're giving and never getting back, you're going to deplete your energy really quickly, and then you won't have anything to give to yourself or others. So I think you're getting very direct here about where you want to be and who you want to give to, and yeah, I'm feeling like this is going to be maybe tough to begin with, but you're coming into such a beautiful place here. You're getting so comfortable with yourself. You're reintegrating a lot of your energy, bringing it back, and sending that energy out to those who deserve it, and to yourself. You're one of those people who deserve it. So I'm going to leave your message here for today, Pisces. Thank you for being here. If you feel like it, please give the video a like and subscribe, and check out your other signs as well. Okay, bye. Hi Aries, welcome to your reading today for the lunar eclipse that is occurring on March 24th. It's occurring in the sign of Libra, and we're going to be looking at a lot of different energies today. So what's going to be healing, what you're forgiving, what's going to be revealed, what is going to be released, and what you are prioritizing in terms of your boundaries and how those might be changing. and a few other energies here. Okay. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing the Aries collective with messages today. So these readings are going to be for your rising sign, but they can also apply to your sun, moon, and Venus. I recommend your Venus sign or looking at your Venus sign because this lunar eclipse is occurring in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So take a look at that as well, just to get a more clear message about what energies are coming into your life here. So we have the King of Swords here. First, there we go. All right, just want to get these organized here. Okay. Interesting. We have a lot of court cards and a lot of air and fire, so very volatile combination. All right, thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing the Aries collective with information regarding the full moon lunar eclipse on March 24th, 2024. Oh, that's a lot. I just want one card, please, Spirit. One card. Okay. I kind of wanted to come out the Lady. I was getting a very masculine energy, and then the Lady is the most, feminine card in this deck. Okay, so I think maybe this is going to be a partnership reading, a love reading, and I'm getting your divine masculine and feminine energies here, fire and air. So it could be that you, Aries, as the fire sign here, are coming together with an air sign. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But I'm getting that this air sign isn't as airy as most. They have maybe a lot of earth energy as well in their chart, because we have, obviously a lot of different energies in our charts. So let me just get some. I think that this energy is a very fruitful one, that this person coming in is going to be very grounding for you. It's a very fertile relationship. I think you're going to be potentially healing from the past. This kind of like this energy that didn't work out. It might be that the past energy is the air sign and the new energy coming in is an earth sign here, but take that as it resonates. I think that you're forgiving the past, like a past relationship that didn't work out in your favor, that created situations that were hurtful, created situations that you needed to overcome and heal from. This person may have left you kind of high and dry. They left you with burdens, like financial burdens. Transformation here in your position of internal discoveries. We have two internal discoveries. We have your light and then your shadow. So I think in your light, I think you're discovering the path that you're meant to be on. You're feeling like you're on the right path here. You're in the right direction. You're going in the right direction. You're doing the right thing. The right thing that's the right thing for you. It doesn't have to be the right thing for everybody else, right? It's just about how you feel about it, how it feels right for your soul. Interesting. Okay, so this is a card that actually just came out for Pisces in the exact same position, except it came out reversed. So that's very interesting. And then in your internal discovery in the shadow, we have transformation. And I think that that's, you're discovering how you've changed, right? Maybe you haven't done a whole lot of self-reflective work. And so you're looking back now at like who you were when you were a kid, who you were when you were a teenager. And you're like, wow, I have changed a lot. Do I like how I changed? Have I changed for the better? Have I changed for the worse? Or is it neutral? Like, it's not a good, it's not a bad, it's just I'm different. And being different than how you were isn't good, it's not bad. Change happens, it has to happen, or else we stagnate, and then we're not even, you know, what's the point of being alive, right? If we never change. We have in your, like I was saying, in your shadow energy, we have transformation. So looking at how you've changed, do you like who you are today? Would your younger self be approving of who you are? Have your thoughts about what is right and wrong changed? So I mean, who cares what your younger self thinks? Like, you know, where are you coming at from this? And this can be different for every single one of you. And then with our fragmented energy here, I think that this is how you felt in the past, that you felt, or you were feeling, or recently feeling, even up until recently, up until this lunar eclipse energy comes in. I think you're feeling like you're maybe either not knowing who you are, or you're feeling like your heart is in a different place. Your heart is with somebody else, and you're trying to integrate that energy so that you can feel whole again, right? Bring the energy, reclaim the energy from past relationships that didn't work out, that, you know, they don't deserve your energy anymore. Stop thinking about the person, stop putting energy into it. And then this new energy coming in, the loving woman. I think that this past, like, okay, so I think your past partner, your past partnership, I am getting that I'm reading for the masculine energy here, and this is a feminine energy coming in. So take that as it resonates. You can be a woman and have masculine energy, and this is the energy that you need in your life, is the counterpart. So I think that the person that you may have been with in the past also didn't know who they were. They were very fragmented. And so they brought that energy into the relationship here. And you have a new partner coming in who is very grounded. They know who they are. They know what they want. They're very fertile and creative. And they're very, very loving. They might have a dog. They might have a husky here. I just got that. They might have a lot of plants. Like, they might be a person who has a lot of beautiful things. Like they're very earthy. They have like a green thumb. They eat really good food. They aren't, I'm getting also that they're not super skinny. Like not that they're like unhealthy fat. I mean that they're like extremely healthy, and they have meat on their bones. Like, they're kind of a little bit more voluptuous and soft. You know, they eat really healthy food, and they have like, you know, natural fat deposits on their body, not from being, you know, unhealthy and eating fast food, but from eating really healthy food with healthy fats, and having a balanced diet and a healthy diet here. They might have really thick hair, like really healthy thick hair, glowing skin. I don't think they wear a lot of makeup. They might not even wear a bra. Like, I'm just getting this really earthy, down to earth, female, feminine energy here. And I think this person is going to help you grow and come into this new era of yourself, and to reintegrate and bring you onto this path that's going to bring you a lot of joy and peace and success. This person might be someone who really helps you get into this like really healthy energy where you are at your best and you're at your peak performance. And I know that Aries always are, you know, very into performance here. I think that what's being revealed for you, we have the 9 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so I think here what is being revealed to you is that you might not be looking for what you thought you were looking for. You may have set out on a path thinking that, you know, your biggest goal was to attain a certain type of status, a certain type of financial wealth, or a certain type of praise or attention, and maybe you did get what you wanted, but it didn't bring you the satisfaction that you were hoping that it would. Like, it was hollow. It was a hollow satisfaction. And I think that you are going to be, you know, realizing that even though you worked really, really hard for this, it wasn't what you expected. It wasn't what you wanted. You're not where you want to be. And you need to reevaluate where the things that you need, the things that you want in your life. I think that it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you to accept that you went so far on a path that you're now realizing isn't for you. But I think what you need to understand is that it all was for you. It all was important, because going on that path, achieving what you achieved, and realizing that it wasn't what you wanted is exactly what you needed to do in order to find out what it truly is that you do want. And you still have so much time here to achieve that. Especially, you know, Aries are extremely, you know, they're very powerful in their energy. When they set their mind to doing something, they can do it. So, you know, I think it's important to take some time here and to really reevaluate yourself and understand how you've changed and how your needs and wants have changed, and admitting to yourself what it is that you want, whether that's what you want in a partner. It could be too that you're going through a divorce, or you have gone through a divorce, and you know, through this divorce and through being with this person who you now are ending a relationship with, and you're starting a relationship maybe with someone else, or you're starting a new relationship with yourself after being partnered for so long, that you really need to take some time here and understand what it is that you want, and not just jump into the next thing, because Aries can be a little bit impulsive sometimes. So I think that it's extremely important to do that. And through that, I see here as well that you're going to be releasing past hurt associated with someone being dishonest and someone hiding a truth from you. And you know, there could have been cheating, there could have been some sort of level of betrayal. It could have been more of an emotional betrayal. It doesn't have to be on a level of, like, you know, someone physically cheating, but I think here somebody really prevented you from your true happiness, or they took you away from your success. And I think this person is a very spiteful person. They're a very sad person. They have no level of recognizing when they're wrong. They don't even want to ever admit that they could possibly be wrong. It's like this energy that like, they're always right. They have to always be correct. And I think that you need to recognize that you might possibly have this flaw as well, but that you work really, really hard to be different, and to take accountability for your actions, and to take accountability for the way things work out, and to take accountability for who you are and how you are. And you're recognizing when other people don't here, because you're reflecting on your shadow, and you're seeing this in yourself, and now you're recognizing it in other people and how it has taken away from your relationships. And you know, in this new era that you're coming into, you're prioritizing your own creativity, your wants, your desires. You're coming into a time where you're balancing your feminine and your masculine. You're getting in touch with your needs, like your very basic needs. And like I said, back to this new energy, this could be you, or it could be the new energy from a new partnership coming into your life. But like, I see that this person is going to be really positively influencing your healthy activities, like healthy diets, living properly, eating properly, kind of having this new perspective on what it is to be successful, because success doesn't have to come in one form. It could literally be you changing your diet to be, you know, lower your cholesterol, or to counteract a inflammatory disease, or to get your gut healthy for once. And you know, I just think that you're going to be, there's a lot of like red energy here, so I'm getting a lot of root chakra. So yeah, just a lot about your security and feeling safe, and feeling safe in yourself, feeling safe being in love again, feeling safe being vulnerable. And I think that's going to really come out. You're going to see the positivities in that, especially when you do the work to reflect on your shadow, reflect on who you are now, find out who you are, and be honest with yourself so that you can enter into this new really healthy relationship, positive, and knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and being like honest about that, right? We want to be honest with people who we don't want to waste other people's time. So it's nice to get into a relationship with someone who understands themselves and can be honest about what it is that they want, what they don't want. And I think that's what you're doing here, so that when this new energy comes into your life, you can really provide that person with honesty about yourself. Okay, I'm gonna leave the message here. I hope that resonated. Give the video a like and subscribe if you feel like it, and hopefully I'll catch you in the future. Bye. Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading today. This is going to be for Taurus rising, Sun, Moon, and Venus. And the reason I'm including Venus in this today is because for this reading, we're going to be taking a look at the energies in your life around the time of this lunar eclipse occurring on March 24th. The lunar eclipse is occurring in the sign of Libra, who is ruled by Venus. So I think it'll be really interesting to take a look at your Venus sign as well, just to get a more comprehensive interpretation of the energies. So when I watch readings like this, I generally watch my sun, moon, rising, but I'm going to include a Venus sign in this as well. Okay, so thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing the Taurus collective with information regarding this lunar eclipse and how it will affect their lives. Thank you. So this, if Taurus is your rising sign, it's going to be affecting your 6th house of commitments and routine. And I think that that's very, that's very Taurian energy, is like the routine, the stability. Tauruses are very like stable, reliable people. They can be very stubborn. They kind of have a hard time with change here. So I think that there's going to be some changes occurring for you, that we'll see how that plays out here. All right. So in this reading, we're going to be taking a look at what you're healing from, like what energies you're healing from, what you're forgiving, what's being revealed in your life, what you're releasing, and what you're prioritizing in the future, and how you're going to balance things and create boundaries in your life. So I definitely feel like you're healing from kind of this past loss. You are like returning from this energy of something you went through, kind of this, I want to say it was a financial loss, but it could have been to do with a marriage. Like if you had gone through a divorce here and perhaps there was financial loss, you may have lost investments, you may have lost a home, or could have just been money here. And I think, or it could have been, a career that you walked away from, but take that as it resonates. So there was some sort of loss that you needed to recover from. And you took you've taken some time away. I feel that you're returning back to life. You're coming back to life. You're coming back to the energies that you need to be around. You're entering life again. You're seeing friends again. You're going out again. You're not isolating yourself. That you were in this long period of isolation because you just didn't want to. You didn't want to face the world. You didn't want to see the world. You didn't want to even say hi to people. Like, you were just like so over it, right? Yeah, so your energy, right, for this reading is protection guardian, drop your shields. So whatever shield you've had up here that you were protecting yourself from, you may not have wanted to see friends or family because you didn't want them to ask you about this situation. You just didn't want to talk about it because it was so, hurtful, and you knew that people wouldn't quite be as compassionate as you needed them to be, that you didn't expect to have any support. I think you really isolated yourself here. So you're healing from that isolation, coming back out into the world and dropping your shield. You might be, meeting back up with old friends or with new friends and talking about what is going on, talking about what's happening in your life now, talking about what happened, and allowing that energy, allowing people to give you their comfort, to comfort you, really, I think. But healing from this is something that happened in the past, and you're moving forward here. And I think what's going to be revealed to you here with temptation and patience is how you have moved through the world and been dictated and governed by your wants and desires, and how your level of patience has really affected you in making decisions here. I think you've been rather impatient in your life, and so you've jumped into things that maybe it's been too early. We have transformation here, which is so interesting. This card has come out a lot recently, not just in these readings, but just in like the current energies that I've been doing. So I definitely think that there's this transformative energy that's in the air. It just, of course it is with all the eclipses, but it's really coming out here. So yeah, I think you're learning to have patience. You're learning what it is, what it looks like to have patience. You're learning to let go of giving yourself timelines here. You might have said to yourself, okay, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be at this point in my career. I'm gonna own this house. I'm gonna own this car. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm gonna have done all these things. And you rush yourself through it, more not enjoying the journey, but trying to just strive to get to this end point that's like so hard to attain. But you're a Taurus, you're very stubborn, you plug through, you get there, you get it done, you get the job done. But then you're kind of at this point in your life now where you're looking back and you're like, wow, I haven't really enjoyed myself. Like, I have all these things to show for my success, but I haven't enjoyed myself along the way. And I think you're starting to realize the importance of actually enjoying yourself here, of why people, we're always like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? And sometimes it sounds a little bit silly, and it's like, no, I just want to get to where I'm going. But you're starting to understand what that means. You're starting to appreciate that and comprehend that, and come into this time where you're like, wow, okay, now I get it. Now I see where I need to take my time. And of course, Tauruses can be slow, but I don't mean take your time as like go slower at things. I mean, really appreciate with your mind, like, what you're doing. Like, you might be doing something to get somewhere, but enjoy the thing that you're doing to get there, I guess. And that's going to bring a lot of nourishment to your soul, a lot of satisfaction. We have here in what's being like released, I'm seeing that there's a lot of burdens, a lot of physical and mental burdens, like a lot of responsibilities. You may have been tied up in too many activities, like you're a person, especially when you were in this isolation, but you were keeping yourself busy with a lot of work and a lot of projects and a lot of little hobbies and things like that. And that you're kind of releasing yourself from these. You're releasing your mind from the obligation of having to constantly think about everything that's happened to you and everything that's going to happen, and planning and all of this, like clinging on to having control. I think you're relinquishing control, which is getting rid of a lot of the anxiety here that you had built up inside of you. And, you know, this old way of, you know, kind of doing things, of like having to have a certain level of success, you're seeing how that's negatively affected your emotions and maybe driven away certain things, driven away certain people in your life who didn't really understand. Like you didn't care that they weren't understanding of this. You didn't want to listen to their perspective. Like you were very stubborn mentally. You thought that you were right and there was no other way to be. And I think that you're trying to understand that there are so many ways of being that are correct, and that your way of being isn't necessarily correct or incorrect. It's just different, right? And so here with like what your internal discovery is in terms of your shadow, with healing light, that's really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of light shed on the inner workings of your mind. You might be going to therapy, you might be going to a spiritual healer, you might be receiving Reiki, but I think you're going to be doing a lot of work around this time, maybe through meditation. I'm getting it might cause a big influx of emotion, sometimes uncomfortable emotion, but emotion that you really need to allow yourself to experience. You know, if you need to like take a night off and, you know, just cry or like have a bath and just experience and go through the motions of these emotions, and that might be something that's really, really necessary for you here. And what you're healing from, this past that you're healing from, is feeling a lack of meaningful emotions in your life. Meaningful emotions. I meant to say meaningful relationships. You're feeling a lack of meaningful relationships, and that might also be meaningful emotions. You might not have ever felt like elation or joy. You may have just always felt kind of on this even keel, like nothing really great, nothing really bad has really happened, and you're kind of craving, and this may sound odd, but you might be craving interest in your life, conflict that brings growth, conflict that, you know, being able to have conflict with people you love without completely losing them, without losing yourself, and without feeling like you're having, you know, there's some people who can't have even a reasonable argument. They can't disagree. They can't ever show real emotion because they don't think that someone will stick around. And I think, you know, you may have had relationships in your past, and maybe parents or siblings or someone who was really important to you, that when you did reveal an emotion that you knew wasn't a positive emotion, you may have been felt lacking, like someone may have left you, or they may have not reciprocated honesty and emotional maturity towards this thing that you were communicating about, that you wanted support for, and that you wanted to feel heard and seen for. You didn't feel like you were given any honor towards these emotions that deserve to be honored. And I think you're looking to have more meaningful relationships where you can express negative feelings and you can have a conflict without this person leaving you, or without this person denying you emotional support. And I think that's a really big revelation. That's a really big thing to go through. This is, you know, it's some pretty heavy energy here, Taurus. But I know that Tauruses are extremely resilient. They're very, very stubborn, and that is what leads to their resilience. So our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses. You know, we can't have it any other way. And so, you know, I think that makes Tauruses very lovely. They're very, you know, reliable people. They're very grounded people, and they're always there for the people that they love. And I think that you're looking for that in your life. You're looking for a stable, secure relationship here. And I think you are going to have that come into your life. You're going to be embracing a feminine energy, whether that's a feminine energy coming into your life as a relationship, or if that's something that you need to embrace within yourself. You don't need to be the provider. You can maybe relax and receive for once. And yeah, I think that you're going to be going through a lot of internal changes in how you see the world and how you see relationships and what you want from relationships. So I'm going to leave that energy here. I hope you enjoyed the reading, Taurus, and please give the video a like and subscribe if you feel like it, and hopefully I'll catch you in a future reading. Take care. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading today. We're going to be looking at what's going on for you during the the lunar eclipse that's occurring on March 24th in the sign of Libra. So Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. So I want you to take a look at your chart and figure out what your rising, sun, moon, and Venus are. And if you want, you don't have to, take a look at the different planets. There are 4 different planets there, or more if you want, and just to get a more comprehensive reading. If this is your rising sign, if Gemini is your rising sign, this is occurring in your 5th house of joy, romance, partnerships, so pleasure. So this, I think, is going to be a really interesting reading. I'm looking forward to it. I am a Gemini sun with a Gemini stellium, so I have quite a bit of Gemini. Actually, I think my Venus is Gemini too, and I actually don't know off the top of my head what my other 2 are. I know I have 4 signs though, 4 planets in Gemini. Okay, so thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing the Gemini collective with messages today about the lunar eclipse occurring in Libra. So we're going to be taking a look at what is going on kind of in, you know, what are you healing from? What are you forgiving? What are you releasing? What's going to be revealed in your life, and what you're going to be prioritizing in terms of boundaries and creating boundaries in your life, and, you know, prioritizing yourself and your healing. Oh, that's a lot of cards. I'm going to take 1. Oh, Empress energy, love it. So this is already, you know, an interesting reading. I can already feel the energies of like very feminine, divine feminine energy here with the Empress, the Lovers, the Queen of Wands. We have a lot of different energies here, but I like that the Lovers came out too, because the Lovers are associated with Gemini. There. I'll take that one. Let's just say we'll take that one. 2 came out, but I don't want those 2. I only want 1. So I choose. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. So definitely what you're healing from, what you're releasing, what you're healing from. I think you may have a mother wound here that you're healing from, a wound of the divine feminine. Wow, okay. So this card here is representing your overall energy, and we have the Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. So this is like the ultimate divine feminine energy in this deck. And I was just saying, you know, what you're healing and releasing, you're healing and forgiving is the mother wound. The wound inside of you left by, it doesn't have to be your mother, but it could be your mother. And we could have the best mother in the world, and she could be almost like a saint, and there are still going to be things that have happened in our past, that have happened in our parents' past, that they're healing from, that we're healing from. You know, the whole world is healing. That's the point of being here, I think, is that we have a lot to learn and a lot to grow from, and healing is just another word for growth in my world, in my opinion. And so there's a lot that your mother may have been healing from in her life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that when she had you, when she had children, that she was fully healed. She may have still had a lot to go through. And in going through that may have caused you some harm here, or something that made you not feel loved, or may have caused like a hole in your heart. And it doesn't mean that she was, I'm not saying that your mother was a bad person, and you may feel like she was. You know, I don't know your life. I don't know what's going on here, because there are so many ways that we can be wounded by people and that we can be wounded by our parents. But whatever this was, I feel like you've tried healing it in the past and you have been healed. But to me, healing is cyclical, because what we need to heal from doesn't always get healed in one cycle of healing. You know, these issues come up again and again because we have something else to learn from them, and we have something else to gain, and some bit of knowledge that we need to gain from these past hurts and this trauma. And I see here that you're going maybe through yet another cycle of healing this mother wound, of re-examining what happened, where it came from. And this is leading you to get very, very comfortable in your feminine energy, realizing that, you know, like I was saying, like realizing that your mother is human, you are human, and maybe you're a feminine here. Who knows? You don't have to be. But you know, you may have had a lot of fear surrounding becoming a mother. You may have had a lot of fear about your femininity, or not felt like overly comfortable in being feminine. And I think that whoever you are, male or female, you're getting more comfortable with your feminine side, with leaning into that energy, and getting really, really, really into your feelings and into your intuition and into kind of this water energy here. And I think that, you know, you're moving into a very fertile time, into you may actually be trying to conceive. You may and this could be male, female. Remember, it doesn't have to be just feminine, masculine associated with their typical genders. This can be anything, so please take it as it resonates. But especially with this Empress energy here, I'm just getting that you have this very like robust roundness, like you're full, you're full, you're receiving, you're very abundant and blessed at this time. You're creating, you're manifesting, you're bringing a lot of your wishes and desires to life. You're enjoying the life that you're creating. You're enjoying being feminine. You're enjoying receiving and being, maybe you're in a relationship where you feel you can be safe in this role. You feel you can relax. You're safe, you're protected. You don't need to be in survival mode anymore. And in giving up this fight, this conflict that you have here with your mother or with the mother wound, or it's deep subconscious stuff, deep subconscious stuff. So you don't have to necessarily think, oh, my mother did all these bad things. You might think, well, my mom never did anything wrong. But I think that all of us have things that we learned from our parents, whether that be the mother or the father, that affect the way we are as adults. And it, like I was saying, I think it was in the last reading, for Taurus, like, our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses, and that's okay. That is just how it is. And accepting that and being okay with that is perfectly fine, right? So I think here you've spent a lot of your life thinking that your feminine energy and being in your feminine energy was a weakness, but you're starting to realize the beauty and the strength and all of the very positive associations with feminine energy that exist, and you're breaking free of this ideology that being feminine, or especially traditionally feminine, like, I definitely I struggle because I identify myself, like, I'm going to talk about myself for a second here. I identify, as a feminist, but at the same time, I feel like there is this rhetoric amongst feminine or feminist people that, like, traditional femininity is something to be rejected. And I think it's because traditionally people have seen that as being where their chains came from. Being stuck in these traditional feminine roles is what kept them, out of power and out of having a say in the world. And I think that that's true. And I think that, we've done a huge swing to the other side now, where we've rejected traditional femininity, traditional feminine roles. And I think that in a way it's been really great, because it's gotten rid of some superficiality in there that we didn't need, that we created in the Western world and placed on women. And of course that's different across the world. We place restrictions and roles on everybody. That's just what society does. And I think that it's good to re-examine those roles. But I think also we need to come back into realizing that, like, there's some really great benefits of masculine energy, of the protector and the provider, and there's some really great benefits to being in the role of the traditional feminine, receiving and providing in a different way. You're not maybe necessarily providing resources, but you're providing love and the creation, like creating with the resources that are provided, creating a welcoming, joyous home, creating all of these things. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm not saying that it's better to be career driven. I think that in this day and age, like, a lot of people can't even afford to have a one income home. If you're in a traditional relationship, even if you're not in a traditional relationship, both people usually have to work. I'm not saying that that's possible. I'm just saying that there is still this kind of stigma against being traditionally feminine amongst some people, and I think that that is being healed. I think in society in general, especially spiritually minded people, I think people are trying to heal both feminine and masculine and come back into those roles, but in a way that's respectful and appreciative of both the differences, the strengths, the weaknesses, and not necessarily seeing them as weaknesses, but seeing them where you're not as strong, the other is stronger, and where, and vice versa. We can't have one without the other. Both energies are needed on the spectrum, and there's a huge, wide range of things that you can be in between there. But that is my rant. And obviously that had something to do with your reading, so that might be something that you needed to hear, because I wouldn't have talked about it. I don't think that would have, Spirit wouldn't have influenced me to say that if it wasn't meant to be heard in this reading. But I think what's being revealed to you here is, I think your feeling of past betrayal by choices that you've made in relationships, feeling like you made the wrong choice, and that the betrayals and the things that have befallen you were your fault somehow. And I think you are going to be revealing to yourself that it wasn't one thing or another. These were just things that had to happen. These were lessons that you had to learn in your life, and you can forgive yourself and move on. You know, and you're probably thinking, you know, it was somebody else who caused these issues, and I can see that and I can feel that, but the thing is there's nothing we can do to make someone else be accountable for their actions. We can't force anyone to apologize. We can't force anyone to change. But what we can do is we can change ourselves, and we can forgive ourselves for whatever it is that we might still be holding on to shame for, and realize that, you know, we don't need to live in the darkness. We don't need to live in the past, and we can come into union, bring these two masculine and feminine energies into union within us and become whole. So I think as well here, for your, you know, self internal discovery here, the light and the shadow is what we're going to be looking at. And I think on the light side, you're discovering how far you've come. You're seeing where you were and where you are now and what you're running towards, and being so, you know, genuinely proud of and happy and joyous of the path that you're on and the person you've become, and being very, very comfortable in your skin. And what you're discovering on the shadow side is how you've created conflict in your life, and how you've come out of like this conflict that's happened in the past. Like, why was it that you were in this energy? Where does it come from? Where does it stem from? And part of that was probably not being able to accept a huge part of yourself. And so being constantly in conflict with your internal self, that will manifest externally with conflict arising in your life. And I think you're seeing here how this conflict has in the past really affected your relationships, and you're releasing it. You're very, very quickly letting go of all of these past hurts here. And you know, you're quickly releasing that and coming into this abundant, receptive feminine energy. It's just, I can't stop saying it because there's so much of it here. And I think that you are prioritizing joy. You're prioritizing your creativity. You're prioritizing your home life. You're creating a lot of boundaries around you and what makes you happy. So I see here that your home is what makes you happy, and what gives you life, and what gives you a lot of your satisfaction. And you're so joyous in this energy. I think that you were afraid to be optimistic here. You were afraid to be you were afraid to be abundant. It was like you were afraid to be optimistic, abundant, joyous, because you thought that if you were, then it could be taken away from you. But if you weren't, then nothing could be taken from you, if that makes sense. That's just what I'm picking up here with this energy of optimism in reverse, and it's in, your placement here for what was unhealed in your past. And you're letting go of being afraid to be happy. You're allowing yourself to look forward. You're allowing yourself to look forward to the future and not be afraid that, I feel like you suffered so many disappointments in the past year. You were afraid to be excited about something, or you were afraid to be optimistic, and the rug was constantly going to be pulled out from underneath you. But you're coming into an energy of being in alignment with what you're deserving, and feeling like, I do deserve this happiness. I do deserve to be happy. I do deserve to be loved and feel joy, and to be happy in the things that I like, whether or not society approves of that or not. That you are just coming into this really beautiful, fruitful energy where things are growing, things are happening for you. You're building a beautiful home here. You're bringing life into this world, if that applies to you. You're healing your relationships with your mother, with other women in your life, with yourself, with the divine feminine within you. And you're coming into a time of complete comfort, complete comfort in yourself with this warm, motherly energy that you exude and that you feel deeply within your soul. And I just think that this is such a wonderful time for you. And it doesn't come without its sacrifices. You've worked really, really hard to get here. And I hope that this message resonated for you. If you claim this message, give the video a like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in a future video. Take care, Gemini. Bye. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your reading today. We're going to be looking at what is going on for you around this lunar eclipse that's occurring on March 24th in the sign of Libra. So Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. So I'm going to ask you, to go online and figure out what your Venus sign is. I'm going to be reading these messages for your rising, sun, moon, and Venus. I usually only do the astrological portions of these readings for your sun, moon, and rising, but today I'm going to be doing it for your Venus sign as well. So if you want a really in-depth reading, I would recommend looking at all 4 signs just to get a more clear picture here, but I'd like to remind you to only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, we already have some cards here that are flying out. This has been, I think, the one group here that's had the quickest amount of cards coming out. So these are pre-shuffled, so I'm not too worried about them not being cleansed or anything. I do cleanse my cards multiple times, before and after use. Okay, so what is going on for Cancer? We're going to be looking at what you're healing and forgiving, what's being revealed to you, what you're releasing, and what you're prioritizing and creating boundaries for with this lunar eclipse energy. We are going to be experiencing a solar eclipse as well on April 8th, but this reading is for the lunar eclipse. This energy is relevant for, it can be for the timing before and after. So please take what resonates. Okay. So I'm also going to be looking at some different oracle cards here for your readings today. So I want to get what your energy is in right now. What is the energy that Cancer is embodying right now during the lunar eclipse of March 24th? Well, that is a lot. Okay, so I'm going to take actually these 3. I was only going to take one, but those 3 turned over, and I thought that they were kind of all relevant together here. So we have Guardian Angel, you are not alone. So we have a lot of air energy. With Guardian Angel, you are not alone. Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. And Eagle, see from a higher perspective. So I think these energies here that you're in, it's like you've really recovered and healed from a broken situation, a broken past, a hurt. You're learning to take the guidance of, so this is, okay, so if Cancer is your rising sign, this is happening in your 4th house. So I'm going to read a little bit from that perspective here, but I'm getting that these could be ancestral patterns that you're releasing from. You're releasing from these ancestral patterns that are kind of in your DNA, in your energy, all around you, but you have your spirit guides and your ancestors here who can see from a higher perspective, coming in and giving you guidance, showing you how to heal this, showing you how to live in a different way, especially with your ancestors, wishing they could have healed this before you, wishing they could have healed this energy. And now that they've passed on and they're in this higher place, this higher perspective, they're able to give you assistance here. And because you're so perceptive and intuitive to this energy, this spiritual energy, you are receiving their messages and you're breaking the pattern, you're breaking the cyclical pattern here that's happened in the past. Okay, so For what you're healing and forgiving, we have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Wands. So I'm getting here that you're healing. This is going to sound a little bit strange, but you're healing the need to be manipulative in order to get what you want. I think that as a child, you may have learned that the only way to get what you want was to not be forthright and forthcoming about what you want, but to manipulate the situation around you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's a survival tactic. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people. So I think you're healing this need to not be honest with yourself and with others about what it is that you need and you want. And you need to, you know, come into this energy, this power of knowing how to break that cycle in your life, knowing how to get into your psyche and understand what it is that you need and how to get it in an honest and straightforward manner in the current relationships that you have. Because I think maybe also what's happening is, now that you're older and you're dependent and independent, and you're living with other people, having different relationships, you're realizing that the patterns that worked with your family, or the patterns that you were kind of forced into because of your family dynamic, are not functioning for you in quote unquote the real world, or in outside of your family dynamic. And so you're learning a lot about yourself. You're learning a lot about your patterns and why and how you formed these patterns, where they're coming from. And I think you really are looking forward to changing these patterns here. And, you know, coming into this realization is actually a really big lesson. It's a really big lesson that you can learn here. It's huge, and it's huge for taking responsibility and accountability for yourself and for your needs and for getting what you need, right? This is really beautiful energy. I'm just going to take a quick drink here. And so what is being revealed? We have the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. So I think what's being revealed here is why you felt the need to manipulate situations in order to get what you wanted, to manipulate how, and I hope I'm not, you know, offending anyone using the word manipulation. It's really not that bad. It's not, I'm not seeing here that you're like a bad person. Everyone uses a type of manipulation to get what they want. That is human nature, right? It's a very healed person who is very honest and straightforward and doesn't feel that they need to use certain tactics to get what they want, right? It's where we're all hopefully trying to be. So it's very, very evolved, spiritually evolved here, that you are trying to figure this out for yourself, right? So please don't take any offense to this, because these messages are meant for you to have a deeper understanding of yourself, not for you to feel any shame. And I feel like that is kind of what you're releasing here. It's this feeling of shame, that you don't need to feel ashamed for what you need and what you want. And part of that, releasing that, is learning how it was in the past that you felt you needed to go about getting what you wanted. And I think here you felt like you had to control a lot of the situations. If you didn't understand and control all the situations, you were afraid of losing control. You were afraid of not having your finger on the pulse of everything. It's like you needed to know absolutely all of the aspects that could possibly happen in order to feel safe and comfortable. And I think you're, you know, it's really revealing and telling about yourself. But this isn't just from yourself. Like you were raised in a way to be this way. You know, this could have been in your nature, but it's like understanding these patterns you see in yourself aren't just you. They come from a long line of learning this behavior, and you're unlearning this behavior. You're doing the work of your ancestors. you're doing a lot of important work here. So in your internal discoveries, your truth, the light that you're bringing in, your power, we have present power. So you're coming into this mindfulness. You're understanding what it is that you need to change about yourself, what you need to control about yourself. And I don't want you to think control, because you actually are kind of in this moment letting go of control, but about controlling your emotions, right? Related to this sense of not having as much power that you used to. You're coming into a time where you're like doing a lot of self-discovery, because here in your internal discovery about your shadow is behind the mask. So you're not only realizing that you wear a mask, you're also realizing what it is that you have behind that mask, because you don't even know yourself. It's like this energy of you're not only discovering that you aren't who you truly are, you're discovering who it is that you truly are. You're taking a lot of responsibility for your actions here, and you're trying to do better. And it could be that you recently had a child, or that you're thinking of having a child, or something to do with like your inner child, but it's like this energy of you don't want this cycle to continue, because you don't want this for your child. You don't want your child to have to go through this. You don't want them to have to feel that they can't be open and honest about what it is that they want, what it is that they need. Do you need a hug? Like, could it be as simple as that? Do you just need a hug right now? Like, you didn't even feel safe enough to ask for that for whatever reason. And I think you're understanding now, or trying to understand now, why you didn't feel safe to ask for the things that you needed and wanted. And I think you're mothering yourself here, you're parenting yourself, you're giving yourself a lot of, or you're going to need to give yourself a lot of love, and be very gentle and delicate with yourself, and understand that you are a person having a very personal experience here, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm getting that you're releasing a lot of this shame and coming into the light and revealing to those who you like, especially the people you love, showing them what is behind the mask, because you want them to see you for who you truly are, because you want to know that they truly love you for who you are. And I think that that's really, really beautiful here. But what you're releasing is feeling like you need to be a provider, or provide a certain amount of things in order to receive love. Like, you almost, it's like you didn't feel like you deserved love unless you could provide people with something. Like, okay, I have this thing, or I have this quality, or I have this ability, or I can do this thing for you. Will you love me if I can do that? And it's very like, you know, it's giving off like desperation, kind of like you'll do anything or like give anything in order to be worthy of their, like, someone's love. And I think that that's something that you may have learned from your parents, from not receiving unconditional love and feeling like you're not deserving of unconditional love, but you are so worthy and deserving. Like, every soul on this earth, you're deserving of unconditional love here. And you just need to internalize that. You need to feel that and internalize that. And you're working on that right now. You're releasing this feeling of needing to be something or do something in order to deserve someone's love. You can just have it. If someone really loves you, like, you can just, you can just have it. I think in your unhealed past, for your personal relationships here, I think that I'm getting that you may have been taken advantage of by people, whether it's a parent, a teacher, and I don't know in what way, but almost like you felt like you had to be the perfect student all the time. Like, you had to satisfy the ego of your parents or of a teacher or of a guardian, a person who is supposed to be responsible for you, that you were constantly responsible for making sure their ego was okay. If that makes sense, which isn't the responsibility of a child. And you're starting to understand that and heal that, so that you know, if you do have children here, which I'm kind of getting, because like in your future and healed energy, we have new beginnings. New beginnings is almost like the sun card, and it has this like baby in it, so you very well could be having children, or you want to have children. And this is the energy that you have to look forward to, is new beginnings, a fresh cycle, a fresh genetic cycle. Like you've broken this pattern. You've broken the pattern of your ancestors, because, and they have been here helping you do this. Your passed on ancestors are realizing how important it is for you and your children to break the cycle. You know, I'm just getting that this is a really, really powerful time for you in your, I just got the word dynasty. I know this sounds super weird, but not like a like, I don't know, that was just a word that came into my mind, but kind of like what you're passing down to the next generation, then the generation after that. You're starting a new, fresh bloodline. It's like you're starting off with a clean blank slate, free of trauma and free of this ancestral trauma and baggage. You have released that energy. Okay, that was really a very profound reading here for you, Cancer. Very personal, and I hope that there was something here that resonated with you and gave you hope and strength to get through these difficult internal trials here, because you have so much to gain from this internal self-discovery and healing. So I hope you liked the video. Please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll catch you in a future reading. Take care. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be looking at what's going on for you around the March 24th lunar eclipse. The eclipse is occurring in Libra. So this reading is going to be for your rising sign, sun, moon, and Venus. So figure out what your Venus sign is. And the reason I'm adding Venus in this time is because Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. So I'm just gonna say, you know, take what resonates, but I generally like to watch at least my sun, moon, and rising signs to get a better idea of what's going on and get a broader picture, right? Because a lot of energies can be happening during this time. It's not just one thing. So yeah, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So I'm going to be looking at what you're healing and forgiving, what's being revealed, what's being released, and what priorities and boundaries are you creating for yourself in this new timeline. All right. So if Leo is your rising sign, this lunar eclipse is going to be occurring in your third house of communications. And because Libra is about relationships, I'm getting here that it's going to be information about your relationships here. It could be receiving communication, having conversations, renegotiating. Okay, we have strength on the bottom of the deck, which is a Leo card, right? So what you're healing and forgiving here, we have the Eight of Wands and Temperance. Temperance is a very healing energy for me. It's a very neutralizing energy. It's almost like, for me anyways, the way I interpret it is like, it's like this healing touch. I think you have very, very fast it's like this. I think you're healing from something that came in very quickly. It could have been a very, I'm actually getting a death here, that you could be healing from receiving news about a death or unexpected news about someone passing in your life, or a very unexpected message coming in about a relationship. For your energy, we got arrow, surround yourself with protective energy, and stargazer, set your sights high. So the arrow energy and the broken arrow have come out a lot so far. This is the third reading that has come out as the personal energy for a sign here, along with another energy with it. So I think not only is this telling you to protect your energy, it's telling you to set your sights high, aim high, shoot your arrow high. I'm getting Sagittarius energy here too, even though I know this is Leo, but Sagittarius is another similar, fire energy. And I think that if you have any Sagittarius in your chart, this definitely is going to apply to you. But I'm just getting that you have this goal that you're trying to achieve, and I don't know if it's trying to achieve it in a relationship with regards to another person, or if it's you're setting your sights high here. So what is being revealed to you? I think here you may be getting communication regarding, it could be an air sign in your life. It's a feminine energy here with the Queen of Swords. So Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. I feel that you and this person have had a falling out, or maybe a disagreement regarding finances, resources, shared resources, money here. I think that you and this person may need to have a conversation about that, about money, about shared resources. I think this person has been very kind of cold regarding this. Dispassionate. And Leos are very passionate. They're a fire sign. They can't help themselves. They feel very passionate, and this other person, this other energy is a little bit cold. And I think you find that distressing in some way here. I think also this healing energy is happening very quickly for you. Like the transformation healing that's going to be going on during this lunar eclipse until the solar eclipse on April 8th, it's going to be very rapid and very swift. Like a culminative. It's like a tonic, I can't explain that energy any differently, I don't think. Oh, sorry, this is where that's supposed to go. Okay. So you're letting go of fear here. You're letting go of clinging too tightly to wanting to be in control of something, to wanting something to go a certain way. It's like what's coming to light here, your internal discovery, what's coming to the light are the things that you thought that you could control, that you wanted to have control over, but you're realizing that it was all just about fear. This need to control. This need to control was all from this shadow side of fear. And fear can rear its head and show up in so many different ways. And sometimes people, they feel less fearful when they can control things. And I think you're realizing how needing to have this control in your life has really affected your relationships and affected just what your life is, you know, like how your life looks here. And maybe it's affected your family life, because I am getting that in your personal relationships in the past, what's unhealed. It could be childhood trauma here. It could be current children that you have. There may be something that, you know, maybe you're a very controlling parent because you experience this fear for your children. So you see that the only way to control them, or the only way to protect them, is to control them. I think you're being released from this fear, from this need to control, letting go, maybe realizing that there is some past trauma that you need to heal from in your childhood, that you experienced, that you saw, that is now affecting the way that you raised your children, the way that you are raising your children, was very affected because of what you went through as a child. I think you're healing. It could have been that you, and earlier I did feel like you were healing from a death, so maybe you lost a parent at a young age, and maybe because of that, it's caused you to have these fears and to be afraid that something similar could happen to your children, that you might leave, you know, for whatever reason, something might happen to you, something might happen to them, and so you've kind of really controlled things here. And I think you're having like an open, honest conversation with yourself or someone else about how this is reflected in your life, how this is functioning in your life. I think you're releasing this unattainable image that you had of your family life. Like maybe you had a very imperfect childhood, and so you envisioned your life with your family, with your children, with your job. It could be anything here, but you envision like this perfect white picket fence life that just is very unrealistic and unattainable. Life is messy. Especially when you bring children into the world, we can't expect them to behave the way that we want them to. Children are their own little individuals, their own people. They have their own unique wants and needs and ways of being and ways of communicating and ways of learning and discovering. And we have to, yes, we need to protect them, but we also need to allow them to be who they need to be in order to self-discover and to learn and to grow. And I think here you're letting go of this image that you had and realizing that there's so much more love that can exist in the world, and that it can look a lot different than what you thought. That love and family doesn't have to have a one-size-fits-all, or like this idealistic image of what it is to be a family. You're realizing how wonderful people can be even when things are messy, if that makes sense. I think in your future, you're prioritizing reducing conflict, especially with the people that you care about. The last thing that you want to do is be in conflict with those that you love. But I think that your inability to let go and let people be has created conflict. You've created this energy of being at odds or in conflict with the people you actually want to have the least conflict with. And I think you're letting go of that, and you're realizing not only, you know, the actions of other people that have caused these conflicts, but especially your own actions. And, you know, coming back to setting your sights high, setting new standards for yourself for how you want to behave and how you want to be. And I see here you're going to change this dynamic very quickly. I think too, you might still have very young children. You might not even have children yet. You could be preparing to have children, right? It doesn't have to, and you might not have children at all. This might have to do with, you know, you and your relationship with other people, just in general, with coworkers, with friends, with siblings, right? But I am getting here that this is all stemming back to your childhood and images and ideas that you had about the perfect family. and how you wanted it to look for your family, and letting go of control, letting go of this unrealistic expectation of how it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to look, and letting things evolve and happen naturally, and letting people be comfortable in just being themselves, letting yourself be you too, you know, letting go of control. And I think there's going to be a major change through you letting go and through you releasing conflict and letting things be. You're going to see this huge change. It's going to be so uplifting. The energy is you're going to feel re-energized. Your family is going to feel it. It's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change a lot of circumstances here, but this is stemming back like very deep into your subconscious and your psyche. You might be having a lot of dreams that are bringing up old wounds and old thoughts and old experiences, right? Things that you thought you had repressed are bubbling back up to the surface for you to look at and deal with. And this might be a little bit of a trying time, but I do see that it's going to be so worth it when you come out the other side, because all of these lessons and challenges are coming towards us during this time for a reason, and it's for our own self-development. And I just see here that you have so much to look forward to when you come through the other side of this. Self-discovery and reprioritizing, setting boundaries, and reducing conflict in your life. Okay, I'm going to leave your message here, Leo. I hope that resonated for you. Please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will see you in a future video. Take care. Bye now. Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what's going on for you during this lunar eclipse that's occurring on March 24th. It's occurring in the sign of Libra. So this reading is going to apply for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, as well as your Venus. And the reason I'm reading for Venus this time is because Libra, which is where the lunar eclipse is occurring, is ruled by Venus. So I just thought it would be kind of interesting to also incorporate that into here. So take a look at your other signs as well, and sometimes that'll give a more of a broader understanding of what's going on for you, because as we are complex beings, we have multiple things happening, multiple energies happening in our life. And as always, I just like to remind you to only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Also, I've been forgetting to mention in the other ones, but timestamps are below for your other signs as well. All right. Thank you, Spirit, beings of the highest white light, and our ancestors for being here and providing Virgo Collective with messages for the March 24th lunar eclipse. Okay, so Virgo, this is occurring in your second house of resources and income. So we're going to be looking at across the board. I've been looking at what you are healing and forgiving, what's being revealed during this time, what you're releasing energetically, and what you're prioritizing, and what kind of boundaries you're also creating too in your life. So I think you're releasing hurt from a past relationship, disappointment in a relationship, something that you really thought was going to be a positivity in your life, and actually ended up being someone who caused you quite a bit of pain here, someone that you should have been able to trust. And I think what's being revealed to you rather quickly is your ability to work hard to generate income. You have a wonderful work ethic here. You're realizing just how valuable you are in the workplace. You might be willing to approach a manager or a boss for a raise. You might be looking to increase your resources in some way here. kind of a self-discovery here after a very hurtful relationship, a relationship that took a lot from you, took a lot out of you, drained your resources, and you're coming into this realization here of what your true value is. And that could be in terms of a relationship and love, or it could be in terms of really a career here. And because of this healing that you've had to go through after this past hurt and this trauma, you've actually come to realize so much more about yourself. And in this realization about who you are, you're going to be magnetizing abundance to yourself. You're releasing you're releasing a mentality of lack. And you're prioritizing your own future. You're setting boundaries on others, putting expectations on your future. I'm seeing here that you're looking to really connect with yourself here, especially after this disappointing energy here that you're healing from. You're really coming into a period of self-discovery. Okay, I want to get a card for Virgo, a card that is reflective of their current energy that they're in during this period of time of self-discovery and reflection. We have the Sage, be devoted and committed, and I'm getting that is devotion and commitment to yourself, to self-discovery, to keeping a journal about, like, I'm almost getting that this, like, past hurt, this thing that you're healing from, is actually almost bringing you to a stage of enlightenment. It's the catalyst that you needed in order to find your path spiritually, to find your path in terms of a career, and in terms of, like, who you are, how you can create, how you can manifest, how you can attract. So I'm going to put those together because they came out together, but wow, so we have a consciousness of lack, but in reverse. Okay, so I'm getting here that this is just the energy of you discovering how to manifest, how to attract abundance into your life, how to create wealth out of this hurt. This hurt that came to you, you're, like, not going to let it knock you down. You're not going to let it take anything from you. In fact, you're going to create from it. You're going to take garbage and turn it into a masterpiece. You are going to take coal and turn it into gold. You are becoming the alchemist here. And, like, we don't have the magician out, but this is, like, an energy that I'm just picking up here, that through this, like, self-discovery, turning into a sage, being devoted and committed to yourself and your self-discovery, self-development, self-improvement, you're coming into a really, really powerful consciousness here, a consciousness of abundance, a consciousness of, like, the opposite of all of the negativity you've been feeling. You're leaving behind fear. You're leaving behind fear, and you're moving into a period of, you're creating less distance between you and the thing that you want, you and the person you want to be in a relationship, you and monetary abundance. You're creating this, like, magnetization. You're magnetizing yourself to what it is that you want. You're releasing a need to run away from your happiness. You're releasing this need to feel like you have to journey to find what you want. I'm actually, okay, it's funny that The Alchemist came up, because now I'm being drawn to the book The Alchemist, where the main character travels, you know, far and wide and into the desert and across these lands to find his treasure, when really the treasure was always within him. But he needed to go on the journey to discover that. And I think you've been on that journey. You have been on this journey of self-discovery, and you have come to realize that the wealth and what you were seeking was always within you. You never needed to go anywhere to get it. It's always been you. It's always been in you. You've never been lacking, and you've never wanted for anything, but you didn't know that, and you had to go on the journey to discover that. And the journey was just as important as the discovery, right? And I'm just getting here that, like, you're connecting with, you're not only connecting with yourself, you're also connecting, now that you've finished the journey, because you always wanted to, on all these journeys, find the people you were meant to be with, like find your soul tribe, find your soulmate, and you never found them. And now that you've come into yourself, and it doesn't have to do with places, right? You could have physically been traveling, but I'm talking about like a journey. It could be just a soul journey, it could be any kind of journey, but you were constantly seeking validation from other groups and never finding it, because you never really were in your, like, with your soulmate or with your soul tribe. But I'm finding now that you're, you know, getting in contact with yourself, and in this attractive energy, you're attracting to you people who are like-minded, friends who are like-minded. Your guides are communicating with you more. They've always been there. They've always been communicating with you and supporting you. But because you're in this energy of flow and attraction and abundance, you're letting in their light. You're letting in their communication, and they're coming to you with messages. And I just see here that, like, your whole journey, it's like this culminative sense, but you've gone on a cyclical journey a couple of times to get this, right? To get to this point of wisdom and knowing, confidence, consciousness, oneness, and trust in the universe, trust in the divine, trust in everything that's had to happen for you to get to this point. I'm going to leave your message there, Virgo. It was very powerful. I feel like you are her, wow, like you've just gone on this huge transformation, this huge journey, and you're going to be so much at peace with yourself and everything around you, and just beautiful things are coming your way. Okay, I hope you liked the reading. Please give the video a like, subscribe to my channel if you feel like it, and hopefully I'll catch you in a future video. Take care, Virgo. Bye. Hi, Libra. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be looking at what's going to be going on for you around the lunar eclipse. It is occurring on March 24th in your sign, in the sign of Libra. So, you know, this will be, if you're Libra rising, this will be occurring in your first house of self and self-discovery, ambition. And I think this is going to be ringing in a very new cycle for you. The ruling planet for this eclipse is going to be Venus, so please take a look at your rising sun, moon, and Venus signs. I think that you'll get like a really great comprehensive view of what's going on for you energetically. If not, that's totally fine too. But I am kind of reading from that perspective, from all four perspectives. So all four energies are more than welcome in this reading, and so are all of the other signs. If you're cross-watching, that's totally fine too. All right. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light. Okay, I'm gonna take this and these two, because those were the ones that really popped it at me. Okay. So we have the Seven of Cups, the World, and the Tower. Some big energies to start with. We are going to be looking at what you're healing and forgiving in your life, what's being revealed to you, what you're releasing, what you are prioritizing and the types of boundaries that you're creating in your life. Wow. Okay, already this is a really, really, really powerful, strong reading. We have 4 major arcana cards out, 4 out of 5. So like I said, this is going to be a big cycle change for you, a big step for you, Libra. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm getting that you're releasing, you're forgiving and healing from a period of time. It was a period of abundance, but a lot happened during that time. There may have been situations that occurred during this time because it was a very like busy, getting a very, very busy time in your life. Almost like you didn't have time to think. You didn't even have time to stop and think about everything that was occurring for you, everything that was going on for you. You had too many decisions to make, too many obligations, too many people to care for, too many places to be. And we have here in your energy the Knight, be brave and honest. So I think you're being brave and honest with yourself here. You're being brave and honest about what it is that you care about, what it is that you want. What it is that you want going forward. Maybe you have come to a decision after all of these choices have come to you after this period of, you know, in one of my readings recently, like one of my current energy readings, I actually talked about this, how sometimes abundance isn't necessarily the best thing. Like if there's too many choices, we can be led into periods of indecisiveness and anxiety about it, right? About making the wrong choice, about, you know, is this, I have this great option, this great option, this great option, this one. And, you know, too much choice can lead to just this feeling of like burden, because if I make the wrong choice, if I go forward and I say, okay, I want this one, and you release the rest, what if you're releasing, you know, something that would have been better for you? And that's so normal, you know, when we're faced with choices, to feel that way and to feel a little bit afraid of making the wrong choice here. But I think you have made your choice. You're going to be brave and honest and accept that choice here and accept the consequences of making that choice, whether they be good or bad. But I am seeing this as being a very, you know, positive time in your life. We have the World here, so you're healing from major changes, major growth periods in your life, things that were happening maybe outside of your control. Oh wow, okay, so interesting, because this card I often associate with the 7 of Cups, increase. And on the way to this mansion here in the, you know, in the distance, there's all these jewels, and it's kind of like it's yes, you're increasing, and yes, it's wonderful and it's great to have this abundance, but it also can lead to us being indecisive and us not knowing what to do, and also being led astray, right? Like all of these worldly wealth, all the worldly wealth can sometimes confuse us, and we don't really know what we're doing or what we want here. So so the internal discovery that you're making, the light, the truth, the light, the strength that's coming through here is maybe your roots, right? You're discovering how your upbringing has given you a certain level of strength and resilience, and you're bringing back like part of your, like your inner child. Your inner child here is coming through and shining through, and you're recognizing that innate strength in yourself, your innate abilities, your innate strength here to be strong, to be honest, to be brave. And then we have our internal discoveries, the truth and the shadow side, which is increase. And I think maybe this is you're discovering that maybe you have a tendency to be a bit greedy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone has that tendency. I really do. I think every single person, if they say that they're not, they're lying. But you know, some people become monks and reject all of that, and they reject wealth and worldly goods here, but not the majority of people. The majority of people live and they recognize the value of having certain material abundances, right? But I think for you, you're getting very honest with yourself about what it is that you actually want, because before you just wanted everything. I think you're realizing that you can't have everything, and you also don't need everything, and to have everything would actually be the opposite of a blessing. It would be a curse. It would truly be a curse upon you. But you didn't realize that until now, because you had to grow up and you had to mature and you had to make this realization for yourself. And I think here with the Tower and the Magician, in what is being revealed in that position here, I think you're having this major revelation coming to you very quickly. And with the Magician, you are taking that change and that revelation, those uncontrollable circumstances, and you're taking control of them. You're taking control of you're taking control of the uncontrollable. You're harnessing chaos. You're harnessing chaos to become the magician and to become the creator of your own reality, but you have to be very brave and honest with yourself to do that. The ultimate alchemist is really the one who can change himself, not the one that can change the outer world. But if you can change yourself, that is more difficult than manipulating matter any day of the week. You know, being able to change learned behaviors, being able to change ancestral traumas and release grudges and be forgiving, that's a way more powerful skill than it is to turn iron into gold, in my opinion. And I see here what you're releasing is dishonesty with yourself, dishonesty about what it is that you want, and dishonesty about what it is that you're rejecting and what you're accepting. And you're getting very, very, very real with yourself about what your motivations are. What are your motivations? Like, what is it that truly motivates you? What is it that makes you feel good? What is it that really brings you a sense of peace? And you're getting into connection with your subconscious, with your I also just got really quickly here that someone might be doing a mushroom ceremony, and that's totally cool. That's fine, no judgment here. That's really important, but I think that could be relevant for a couple of people, one person, something. And through that and through other self-reflective means, you're going to be understanding why, like, what is it from your upbringing that led you to want and want and want and never feel like enough is enough. You're kind of sick of that. You want to feel fulfilled. You want to feel like your cup is full. So why is it that you always feel like your cup isn't full no matter how much you have? Because I'm seeing here that you're an extremely abundant person. You have a lot. So why is it that you don't feel fulfilled? That is what you're discovering. That is what you are discovering. You're prioritizing really what's important to you in a materialistic sense, right? Because, of course, like, our relationships are important. Our spiritual development is important, but it's also, we're humans in a human body having a 3D human experience. What's also important is our material wealth and our ability to do things and move throughout this world. So you're getting in contact about, what is it that actually makes you happy? Maybe it's not having a new car. Maybe it's not living in the biggest house on the street. Maybe it's not keeping up with the Joneses. But what it was causing you in the past to feel like you had to. What were you lacking? Where are you lacking? What emotionally was leading you to feel like you weren't enough with who you are, just as you are? I think you're really going to be focusing on creating what you want, what's important to you. Creating and building a life that's in alignment with your true motivations. This is like a very big cycle that's ending, a very big lesson that you have learned that's actually going to bring you to true abundance. You've had abundance, you've had almost too much here, and it's never felt satisfying, it's never felt good, it's never felt like enough. You're coming into a period of time where you're finally feeling satiated, you're feeling satisfied, you're feeling like your cup is full again, and you're optimistic for the future. You may even be losing some of your financial abundance, but that is actually what is bringing you into alignment with, or you may have lost a little, like, you know what I mean? Like, you may have like experienced a loss that was very stressful, but it also brought you to a realization of like, did I actually ever really need that thing? Did I ever really need to be attracting that energy? Why was I feeling like this? Why was I feeling like I needed to fill a hole inside of me with objects and with things? And yeah, you're getting to a point where it's like you can take that cloak off. Like, you're still abundant. You have so much abundance around you. It's incredible because you're the one creating it. You're able to take almost any circumstance and make it into something beautiful. You create a lot of beauty in your life. You create this like aesthetic, but you want the aesthetic to have depth. I think that's what it is. You want to feel like you don't just have things to have things. You have things because they actually bring you joy, and they actually are good for you, and they're good for your family, they're good for your friends, they're good, and you're walking into this like beautiful energy of like feeling like you have what you need, and that being enough. Okay, I'm going to leave that message here for you, Libra. I hope it resonated. If it did, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will catch you in a future reading. Take care. Bye now. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to be looking at what's going on for you around the lunar eclipse. It occurs on March 24th. It is occurring in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. We're going to be looking at your rising, sun, moon, and Venus signs. So please only take what resonates, but also check out your other signs here to get a more comprehensive image of what's going on for you. We are going to be looking at what you're healing, what you're forgiving, what you're releasing, what's being revealed to you, and the priorities and boundaries that you're going to be setting here with this new energy. This eclipse is occurring in your 12th house of the subconscious mind, which I think is a place that naturally Scorpios are actually pretty good at being in that space. They're pretty good at doing their shadow work. Alright, thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light for providing the Scorpio collective with information regarding their what's happening in their minds during this lunar, where am I? What is going on in the mind of the Scorpio during this lunar eclipse? Okay. We have a lot of like air energy here, water energy. Okay. So what you're healing and forgiving, we have the Knight of Cups and the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is reversed here. I think that there's something that's kind of been disappointing in your past. This may have been a father figure who's disappointed you. It may have been a disappointing relationship. Something that's stemming back to a past experience, a past relationship, something that you need to, reanalyze, revisit. It may have been one of the harder things for you to revisit here. Something about finding the nostalgia in this person and not letting the negative, kind of separating out the negative and the positive about this person, whereas you were not able to compartmentalize before. Almost like you need to learn to compartmentalize, which is weird because the one thing I know about Scorpios is usually they're pretty good about that. But it might be just this one circumstance that you're having an issue with. Move beyond ancestral patterns here with Elder. So this is your energy here today, Scorpio. I think that this is reconfirming that there is ancestral trauma. There's some maybe past hurt here with a father, with a male figure in your life. It could be a grandfather, a brother, an uncle, but I'm getting that there's, on the male side of your family, there's some sort of pattern that was common and that you are trying to heal in the subconscious mind so that it heals your behavior too. You're seeing how this trauma and this hurt has maybe affected your relationships and your behavior going forward here. You're examining the roots, the root cause of this. The root cause. I think you're diving deep into the subconscious mind here. It's almost like you're studying yourself. You're very, like I said, Scorpios are good at compartmentalizing. I think you're trying to stay distant from this memory, from these thoughts, because there's something that's very difficult for you here. Something that's been difficult. So I think here what you are discovering about yourself, your internal discovery, what is in the light, what is in your strengths, is you're working through this through a creative endeavor. And maybe that you're picking up here. I'm getting that you're a little bit older, so you might be a Scorpio watching this that isn't, you know, like you might be retired, you might be a parent, a grandparent here, but you are maybe taking the time to actually pursue interests outside of your career. So you might be learning a new instrument, you might be learning how to paint, you might be learning how to weave or how to do pottery, or learning a new sport or playing a new game. And through this creative endeavor, it's somehow opening up a blockage that you had in order to deal with this past situation, this past hurt. And it doesn't have to be anything like super, super dark. It could be. It doesn't have to be. It could just be something that like you really found a fault with in this person, in this male here, that you wish they had been stronger, you wish they had been better. And it's something that you kind of have always wished you hadn't, but looked down upon this person because of it, because of this trait that they had, that you couldn't respect them. And it's like you couldn't respect them for this behavior, for this trait, for being the way they were. Like you were almost disgusted with them. Like, I know that sounds really harsh to say, but I'm just trying to read the energies as they are coming to me. And then I'm seeing here for your internal discovery, for your shadow, is new beginnings. But in this, it's like a baby, it's like a newborn. And I think here you're either going back to your childhood, to something in your inner child, like giving yourself love, giving yourself grace and honesty, allowing yourself to live in the light, not in the shadows, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because maybe with this person you never felt like you were protected, you never felt that they did their job in protecting you, or you never felt that they gave you the opportunity to be a child because they weren't an adult. They weren't acting like a responsible adult here, and so you had to parent yourself. you're allowing yourself to be a child again, to play again, to be in your innocence, come into this energy that you haven't really ever been safe to be in. And I'm not quite sure what's triggering this. Could just be the energies, right? It could just be the astrology, that this is the time now. This is the time for you to deal with this. This is the time for you to come into this new phase of healing, this new strength here. And we have the Lamb and the Lion. Something about, you know, almost like you're dropping your walls. You're dropping the facade as the lion, and what's underneath is the lamb. And you never were allowed to be the lamb, and you want to be the lamb. You want to feel like it's safe to be the lamb. You're releasing this facade. You're releasing the need to be constantly strong and the need to be constantly protective of yourself, protective of this part of you. You can let this part of you shine through because there's nothing that can hurt you. You have protected yourself through your whole life. And I think you're realizing now that it's okay. You can drop the walls. You can be vulnerable. You're maybe in a very comfortable situation now where you finally feel like you can get there. You're coming out of this period of rest and recovery. You may have gone through some illnesses here. I think that maybe you had to have some surgery. Maybe it was, you know, I just got cancer, you know, like maybe you went through a cancer treatment. Maybe you went through a surgery. Maybe you had an unexpected illness or a period of ill health. It doesn't have to be anything that serious, but it could be. Of course it can be. And you had to be so strong, but you're finally releasing that need to constantly be strong, to be the person who looks after yourself. You're allowing the universe to look after yourself. Or, you know, you might even have somebody here in your life who has given you a safe space to be that. It might be your spouse or your partner. It could be a friend. But you're feeling like you're in a place now where you're no longer in this healing mode. You have done the healing, and that's the physical healing, but now you're healing the mind, you're healing the soul and the psyche, and you're healing it from this like very deep and devastating hurt that you didn't really realize you were actually so hurt from. You thought that it was like not that big of a deal, you're gonna be fine, whatever, you're over it, but you really weren't, you know. And I think that's the way a lot of people are with dealing with trauma and things that have happened in the past, is they have to tell themselves for survival's sake that they're okay, even when they're not okay. But it's just, if you're not okay, then what do you do, right? And so that's how a lot of people survive. So you're coming out of survival mode, and you're coming into this period of realizing that like you no longer have to strive for anything. You're comfortable where you're at, and that's kind of where I'm getting this like retirement mode. But you don't have to be retiring. It's just, I don't know why I'm getting like you're done with this bullshit, you're out of the rat race, you're out of the game, you're finally able to release and relax, and you don't have to struggle. You've reached the point, you've been very successful in your life to the point where you are like financially comfortable. And maybe that's the point, is like you're not working anymore, yet you're financially stable and comfortable, and it took a long time for you to get here, and very hard work, and you have achieved that dream. You've achieved that. You're setting your priorities to mother yourself again, to start something new, to start this new period of life with this freshness, with releasing the traumas of the father, releasing the triggers and the traumas and the hurts of the past from the father line, from the ancestral male line here. And I'm kind of getting, you could be feminine, you could be masculine, I don't know, but you're moving forward in this like innocence that you didn't know that you ever had. I think you missed out on a period of your life of innocence, and you've always been innocent, but you didn't feel that. You didn't feel that you deserved that that period of time of innocence, and we all deserve that. We all should have had that. We don't all get that, right? We sometimes have more challenging childhoods, and often those are the people who grow up to be super successful because they had to struggle at a young age. Other times the trauma, ruins people's lives. So you're reflecting on that and also being very grateful for the fact that you did turn out to be so successful and so resilient here. And it's like you are your, you know, a part of your ancestors, a part of your father or mother, except you're going to be different and you're going to do things different. You're starting this fresh new path. Like, you're feeling younger, you're feeling like a weight has been lifted from you. You're reverse aging almost, like, but it's like a mental, like, burden has been taken off, and so the mind is free. Okay, Scorpio, I'm gonna leave that energy here. I hope that you found something useful from this reading. I hope that, you know, you're healing from whatever this is, and that you continue to heal and grow and be the amazing person that I know you are. And yeah, if you resonated with this, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you in a future video. Take care. Bye. Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading today. It's going to be regarding what's going on for you during the lunar eclipse occurring on March 24th. It is occurring in the sign of Libra. So for you, it will be, if you are a Sag rising, this will be happening in your 11th house. So friendships, community supports, things like that. So what's going on in your relationships, really. And it doesn't have to be your rising. I'm also reading for your sun sign, moon sign, and Venus sign. Now, the reason I'm reading for your Venus sign is because Libra is ruled by Venus. So I just thought I would add that in there. But always take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And check out your other signs too to get a more comprehensive idea of what's going on here for you. So we're going to be looking at what you're prioritizing, what you're healing and forgiving, what's going to be revealed, and what's being released during this period of eclipse, lunar eclipse. I'm going to do another video as well, I think for the solar eclipse, but that'll be in the future here. Okay. So I think you've had a lot of concern here regarding a female fire sign. So we have the Queen of Wands, so that's Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So that could be you. You could be having, you know, a lot of mental, like a lot of fears about yourself. Like, it's a very... Sorry about that, Sagittarius. Welcome back to your reading. I did have a power outage there briefly, and the power came on very quickly, so nothing too urgent happened. However, I'm getting like there might be a tower moment coming for you and a quick reset, like a really quick reset here. Interesting. Okay, so I think in what you're healing from, it's like anxiety about yourself, about your future, anxiety about who you are, who you're becoming, who you want to be. It could be anxiety about something else, but I am getting that it was like anxiety related to your purpose, to you, okay, so you're coming into a very abundant, divine, feminine energy. Gemini also had this for their overall personal energy. So we have Earth Mother with feel loved and comforted. And I think that is really interesting with the fact that you're healing anxiety related to your identity, anxiety related with who you are. And I just got briefly, this could be for one person or a couple of people, but you may be LGBTQ here, and maybe you had some sort of anxiety about being who you are. That was for one person, but this could also be, you know, just you felt maybe like the black sheep of the family, or you felt like you couldn't be who you truly were. You couldn't release your creative energy because you didn't think that if people saw that energy come out of you, you thought that maybe they would not like you or something. that they wouldn't want to be your friend, or that they wouldn't want to be associated with you, or that they wouldn't feel the same way about you here. And I think that you're really coming into yourself, really getting comfortable with yourself. You're feeling loved and comforted. That's the energy you're in. So you're definitely stepping out of this anxiety. You're leaving that behind. And what's being revealed to you here is going to be a lot about yourself. It's a lot about the internal, your internal struggle, your mind. You've done a lot of meditating here, and we have the Sun card. We have the sun shining. I'm getting that you're shining the sun on your personality, on your ego, on who you are. Almost like you're showing the world. You're shining. You're doing the revealing. You're doing the revealing of who you are, who you plan to become. It's like you plan to show the world who you are, and you're receiving a lot of love and comfort with that, because you didn't think that you would, but you did. Like, you did it. You did this. You took this giant leap of faith, and you came in to who you truly are, and people have accepted you for what that is. And you're just like feeling so happy and trusting, and trusting in this energy, trusting in the world. You know, I think also you're releasing a bit of the past. You may have had some trauma here related with friendships and working situations, with people who in the past you were in kind of the wrong place. You weren't in the right place to be accepted for who you are, and you very much are now. You're amongst the right people. You're releasing this old energy and realizing that you're not there anymore. You don't have to have the fear that you had, because you're in a different place. You don't have to fear that the same thing is going to continue happening over and over again, because those energies are just not there. And in that energy, you're prioritizing personal transformation. You're prioritizing this change that you're going through. You're prioritizing yourself, reinventing yourself, because you feel like you've been changing a lot internally, but you're not expressing that change externally, and so you feel that the world isn't interacting with you in the way that you want the world to interact with you, if that makes sense. So you're bringing as above, so below. So what's in the mind and what's in the soul is starting to be expressed outwardly. You're coming into yourself. You're getting comfortable in your own skin, and you're showing the world who you are here. You're bringing this magic into your life. You're creating yourself. You're birthing yourself. You're birthing a new you. You're creating a new you. But it's in relation to other people. Like, you already knew who you were. You already knew this. You just were afraid to show other people. So I think here it's not just about like having yourself be comfortable with yourself. It's having other people be comfortable with you, and having the trust to know that it's going to be okay, that you're going to be okay, and that you will be comforted and accepted. And in your internal discovery, so your truth, your light, you're discovering friends and colleagues here. You're realizing how much support you actually have. You're realizing how loved you are. You just doubted it. I don't know why, but you doubted how supported you would be. You doubted how much people actually cared about you. I think you're a huge light in the life of a lot of people, but maybe people just don't express it enough, so you didn't realize it. Or maybe you're just dealing with, like most people, not having the confidence, not feeling like you're as loved as you are, or doubting the care that people have for you, and doubting that people will be there for you when you truly show yourself. And I see here that it's going to be so lovely for you to finally express yourself and receive that love and support from your friends and your colleagues, and to just be you, and to not feel like you have to hide yourself and hide the things that you like, and not be able to talk about the things that are important to you. And with that, we have also your internal discoveries about your shadow self. So planning and action. So why was it that you were so calculating about what you were going to allow people to know about you, about what you were going to let people discover about you? And I just heard in my head that it had something to do with a past life. So that's interesting, because that could be, you may have suffered some sort of prosecution for who you were in a past life, and so it made you fearful to be open and be yourself in this life, even though in a lot of places, not everywhere in the world, because it depends on where you're watching this from. Not everywhere in the world is overly accepting. Going back to, you know, the example with the LGBTQ here, not everywhere in the world is today even accepting of that. And so I understand why there's fear for people to come out and be themselves. I understand where that comes from. And I'm lucky to live in a country where like majority of people would have absolutely no problem with that. And even if someone did have a problem, you probably wouldn't even know about it. Right. And so anyways, but this doesn't have to just apply to that situation. It could be that, you know, so many other things here. Like it may be that you're a person who went to school for business and you do like me. I went to school for accounting, and that's so different like career-wise from this. And not that this is my career by any means, but this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do. But it's very different from what people maybe were expecting of me. But at the same time, if anyone really truly knew me, they knew I would be totally into this. So there's no fear of me telling people I love about this, about my love for tarot and oracle cards, because they absolutely already knew that about me despite anything else. It's maybe I don't feel comfortable telling strangers because, you know, you never really know how strangers are going to react, but who cares about them? We care about our friends and our family, right? Hi Sagittarius, sorry about that. My camera cut out. So obviously there's something like going on with your energy here, because we had the lights go out and then the battery died on my phone that I was recording this with. So there wasn't a whole lot more that I went over in the video that got missed, but I was just saying here, you know, I think I was going on about talking about what I had gone through with revealing to people, like, or not so much revealing to people, but people knowing what I was into, even though it wasn't like, if you just had met me on the street, you might not know, but the people who were really important to me actually knew. And I know that it's not always safe to feel like you can be yourself, but if you can be yourself with your friends and your family and your colleagues, like, it's going to take such a huge weight off of your shoulders here. It's going to take so much anxiety off of your mind. And I just see it bringing in a lot of peace and fruitfulness, like, into your life, and bringing you so much abundance. So much abundance here. So I think also I may have missed talking about great achievement and the teacher. So with great achievement here, what I was getting, and I hope I'm not repeating myself here, but that this great achievement within your past, what your unhealed past is that you're going to be healing during this time, is related to a relationship which you envisioned ending in marriage, but it ended up actually just ending. It didn't go anywhere. And the reason it didn't go anywhere wasn't because of you or because of this other person. It was because the person you were being was not fully authentic. So you and this person fell in love, but it wasn't because they fell in love with who you are. They fell in love with a version of you that didn't exist, or one that only existed at a certain time, right? Because you can't pretend to be someone you're not for a very long time. And you can't fool anybody for that long. And I think here, you know, you thought you were being authentic, you thought you were being yourself, but when you really started to get comfortable with this person and you really started to show who you were, this person kind of maybe didn't show their support for you, and that was so hurtful for you. But this is the thing, not everyone is meant for not everyone is meant for you, and you're not meant for everyone. So it's totally okay that, you know, it didn't work out with this person, but I know that I can see here, at least in the cards, that it really affected you. And I think it's really important for you to get really authentic and true to yourself here, so that you can become this version of yourself that's so comfortable that when you meet someone and you really like them, they're falling in love with you and liking you for who you are, and not for a version of you that's not actually real. And yeah, I'm just seeing here that going forward in your future, you might actually be helping other people come into this energy of authenticity and realness, and helping people accept themselves for who they are, and helping people see here that it's okay to just be yourself. And you might be doing that through social media, or you might actually be a teacher, and you might be a parent, so you might be teaching children how to be themselves and how to be super comfortable and accepted in their own skin. So I'm going to leave that message here for you, Sagittarius. I hope it resonated. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I will see you in a future video. Take care. Bye now. Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading regarding the full moon lunar eclipse that's occurring on March 24th in the sign of Libra. This is going to be occurring in your 10th house if Capricorn is your rising sign. So this has to do with your recognition, career, milestones. But this reading isn't only for Capricorn risings, it's also for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Venus. So Libra is the sign that the full moon is occurring in, that the eclipse is occurring in. So Libra is ruled by Venus, and that's why I'm kind of adding that sign in too. So I would say take a look at those 4 signs, and you'll get a more robust picture of what's going on for you. And remember to always just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light, for providing the Capricorn collective with information regarding what is going on during this full moon eclipse on March 24th. So I'm going to be talking about what you're healing, forgiving, what's going to be revealed to you, what you're releasing, the energies you're releasing, and as well as what you'll be prioritizing and putting boundaries on here in the future. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, and beings of the highest white light. Whoop. There's a lot of 8 of Wands coming out in these readings, so obviously there's some very fast energy, but that makes sense here with the eclipse season coming up. There's going to be some major transformations for those who are doing the work and who are really focusing on making changes in their life here. One more here. Okay, so I'm going to get another, or I'm going to get a card here, an oracle card, to give me a sense of what your main energy is, what you're releasing. We have the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. This could have been a major financial loss or a career change, or career loss. You may have lost a job. You may have lost an opportunity that you thought was going to be, you know, exactly what you needed. It may have been feeling like it was life-changing here, and you're having a really hard time seeing the positive. You're having a hard time seeing where this was doing you any good. Like, why would this happen? Why would spirit do this to you? Why would, you know, and that was kind of how you're feeling, and you're having a very difficult time being positive here, which makes sense. It wasn't a very nice experience, but this is what you're healing from. So this is definitely past energy, and it's nothing that you need to be worried about occurring. We have Lord, take charge and authority. So, sorry, take charge with authority. So this is your energy that you're in. It's very earthy energy, just like Capricorn here. He's got, you know, a crown of horns, and we do have the ram heads in the background. So, you know, with it could be kind of Aries energy as well, but I'm getting earth energy with the Capricorn, the goat here, taking charge and authority. So you might be leveling up here. You're definitely leveling up here with a promotion, with a career enhancement, a career change that's like bringing you into a position with more power, maybe a managerial role, something that you weren't expecting because of this past energy here that I was getting with you having kind of a career change that you felt was a major loss, but it actually was what was bringing you into this current energy of where you find yourself. So, okay. So what's being revealed to you here is that what you thought was going to bring you happiness is actually something totally different. You know, you may have had this idea in your head of what you needed to do in order to achieve success, or what you needed to do in order to achieve happiness here. But I'm seeing that your happiness is being brought to you in like a completely new way, a newfound way that you weren't expecting here, but it's bringing in, like, it's like your fulfillment is being revealed to you. And you need to release these you're releasing old ideas about what it was to be happy. Yeah. So with this Sun and the Ace of Swords reversed here, with this revelation about kind of where you went wrong, and it's not your fault. Everyone does this. No one knows exactly what they're supposed to do in life, right? That's something that it takes a long time to discover those things. But you're coming into this like period of like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this before? And this is kind of what I'm picking up here. And what is being released with the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands, you're releasing like this very quickly, letting go, an impulsive energy here, an impulsive energy about what you need to do creatively or career-wise in order to make money. You were maybe very acting on information that was incorrect, acting upon advice from others that was incorrect, or not correct for you. Not that it was incorrect information, but that this person or these people who gave you this advice, not that they didn't have your best interest in mind, but that they didn't know you well enough to be able to give you this type of advice. But they didn't know that. Like, they weren't trying to do you dirty. They weren't trying to do anything wrong. It's just you listened maybe to someone who just didn't know you well enough and shouldn't be giving you this type of advice. Yeah. So for your priorities and boundaries here, I think you're prioritizing taking control of your career, taking control of your finances, and your ability to manifest and create here. And I think you're going to be leaving behind the opinions of others. Because those opinions could be based off of what society expects of you, what your family thought you should have done, what everyone around you kind of has to say, and you're like ignoring it. You're above the fray. You're above, you're prioritizing your mental health here, and you're setting up boundaries to not allow in the negative energy, the negative talk, the naysayers, the people who don't believe in you, the people that want to start conflict here. You are like, absolutely not. I'm taking back my power. Like literally, I just heard like, fuck off. Like, like, it's like you are completely, and you're not saying that to the wrong person. I'm getting that, like, you are saying that absolutely to the right person. Like, someone here has been causing conflict. Someone here has been causing doubt in your life, and you're finally realizing that and coming to terms with that, and realizing that they may not have had your best interest. That, this is another situation here. These may be friends or colleagues or people that they might be jealous, they might be fighting, and you're like, I'm just going to be above the fray over here, and I don't want to listen to this. Like, get out of my space. Get out of my space. Okay, so for your internal discoveries, the truth, the light, the strength, we have loving woman. So this could be you, this could be someone in your life who is giving you a lot of support. It might actually even be a dog here that, just gives you their unconditional love. I'm getting unconditional love. Could be unconditional self-love towards yourself, showing yourself what you need to receive. Or it could be someone who's come into your life here and kind of transformed you through their unconditional love and through their unwavering support of you. And what is in your shadow energy, in your internal discoveries here, is your belief that you didn't deserve this. This really deeply held, ingrained belief that you didn't deserve success and happiness on this scale, or in this way, or in this manner. And that may have come from a childhood of being told that you weren't good enough to do something, or that you couldn't do something. But I'm getting here that you absolutely, just like everyone else on this earth, deserve to be happy. But you can't get into that energy if you don't even think that you deserve it, right? So it's re-examining where those thoughts come from, why you thought that that was the case, and, you know, uncovering a little bit about why you wouldn't want all of the good things for yourself, because you are very deserving. I think here too, in your unhealed past, is kind of experiencing a period of your time where there wasn't a lot of joy, there wasn't a lot of fun, and there wasn't a lot of things to look forward to. And you're moving out of this energy. You're no longer in this energy. You definitely have a lot to look forward to. You have your true love here. You have this loving woman or this loving energy that's in your life. And this is like a soulmate energy. This is a true love energy, a romantic energy. I'm getting that this is a partner, an intimate partner relationship here that may be coming into your life, or maybe already there, and maybe you're finally able to recognize that this is what it is, that this is real, that you can allow yourself to be happy, and you can recognize that you deserve this. You deserve this, love. You absolutely do. I think I'm going to leave that message here. It's really straightforward, and I feel like Capricorn, you're in this very straightforward energy, and you get it, and you absolutely get what I just told you, that you deserve this, and you finally know that, and you're finally recognizing that. Okay, I hope that resonated for someone. If you like the video, give it a like. If you would like to see more, subscribe, and hopefully I will keep you coming back in the future. Okay, take care. Bye. Hi there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is for the lunar eclipse that's occurring on March 24th in the sign of Libra. If this is your rising, I believe it's occurring in your 9th house. The 9th house is related to publishing, perspective, learning, and travel. Okay, so with this reading, I'm not just reading for your rising sign. This could be your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. I'm adding the Venus in this time just because Libra, the sign that it's occurring in, is ruled by Venus. So please feel free to watch all 4 signs. It will give you a more comprehensive understanding of what the energies are going on here. So please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is going to be a reading. I'm going to be looking into what you are forgiving and healing, what you are being revealed, like what things are being revealed to you, what energies you're releasing, and also what you're going to be prioritizing and creating boundaries around. So in what you're healing and forgiving, this looks like it may have been a partner relationship that ended. May have been either you and another person divorced. Your parents may have divorced here. It may just be a relationship in your life, an important relationship in your life that did not work out. Just because of personalities here. 2 personalities did not jive. There was a lot of conflict, almost like 2 people who came from 2 different worlds trying to make something work, and unfortunately it didn't work. But I think that you're healing from this. It's like healing the divine feminine and masculine relationship. I've been getting a lot of that in these readings today, that this could be internally as well, because we possess both energies. No one is fully feminine energy, no one's fully masculine, but sometimes we embody more of one than the other. Okay. So I'm going to get another oracle card here to get your overall energy. I think what you're releasing as well here, or what you're being revealed to, is what actually is going to bring your abundance. Like, what does real abundance look like to you? We have your star ancestor here with follow the voice of your soul. This is very Aquarian energy. Very, very Aquarian to me. This is like like what an Aquarius person would look like even. I don't know why, but just because I get from Aquarian people like very ethereal, kind of like outer space energy, like a little bit alien, a little bit like starseed, right? And like I'm definitely getting that here. So you may be very connected right now to the energies of the cosmos, to the energies of where we all came from, right? We all came from the stars, but you're especially connected to that energy. And there might be something here going on with your throat chakra as well. You might be healing your voice. You might be voicing your opinion more loudly. You might be communicating your feelings more broadly to your friends, family. It might be publicly. You might be doing some public speaking here. Yeah, you might be doing some public speaking, coming in, like looking to what's being revealed is what you need to do in order to reach your 10 of Pentacles. You're planning, and like there's a revelation about the plans here, the plans that you're making. A revelation about, oh, I can't quite grasp it. It's like where you need to direct your energy, what kind of union you need to be in to reach this 10 of Pentacles, right? What path do you need to go on to get to this energy? And that secret is being revealed to you. You will understand at the end of this eclipse period where you need to go, what you need to do. What is being revealed to you in your internal discoveries, what's coming to the light, is this playful childlike energy, this optimism, this eternal optimism that you possess, that, you know, you can use that to your advantage, especially to attract abundance to yourself. If you're manifesting, if you're trying to create, if you're trying to attract people to yourself, this joy, like you're like a firefly in the night. You're like a flame that is attracting everything to it. Your energy is shining here, and you're letting it shine. You're letting it come out, and you're letting it come out through however you're expressing yourself. And I think here with your internal discoveries about your shadow, we have joyous fun. So I think here that's also maybe a little bit about countering that energy. Like, it's good to be optimistic. It's wonderful to be joyous and have fun and be free and express yourself, but also countering that with a little bit of seriousness, with being able to understand when situations are not just about being I don't know how to explain that. Like, sometimes we need to balance this energy, and sometimes we need to be a little bit more serious so that people can take us seriously. And we don't always want to be acting in a way that's like, it might not be appropriate for the situation, is what I'm getting. So balancing those energies, balancing and being able to perceive when other people are not in the right place to take this energy when they need you to take things a little bit more seriously, is what I'm picking up here. So what you're releasing is kind of a need to control the outcome of situations here. You're releasing a need to take authority, to have control. Or you might even be releasing an energy in your life that's been very controlling over you. So if you've maybe been in a relationship that is that stifles your joy and stifles your optimism, I'm seeing here that this person, they want to control that unbridled energy that you have, and you're releasing that. This may have been in the past, because I did pick up that you're healing and forgiving the ending of this relationship here. It may have been a very toxic situation. And I think here you're moving away and releasing that toxic energy, and I'm getting it's kind of a masculine energy, the one that was toxic, but I mean, we all have our things, we all have our flaws, but the energy here that was like, that you're releasing was a masculine energy. It may have been the energy within you, it may have been the energy within somebody else here, but this is kind of like you're releasing all of the negative stuff that built up from this past relationship, because it's influenced your mind. It influenced your mind and how you thought of yourself and how you valued yourself and how you valued certain things about yourself. Actually, the most beautiful things about yourself, this person may have been very demeaning towards and put you down for, and so you kind of stifled the most wonderful parts of yourself, and you're rediscovering your beauty, your internal beauty, the light that shines within you. The source is you. The source of the light is you. And this person tried to dim your light. They tried to almost steal your light, because you outshone them, because it wasn't a well-matched thing. And I think maybe this was the energy I was getting here with the joyous fun, was that maybe you actually need to rediscover that joyous fun, and that joyous fun had been stifled by someone who found it irritating because it reminded them of how miserable they were. To see you happy, to see you having fun reminded them of how miserable they were. And so you need to get back onto that light path, that bright path, that path that will lead you to your abundance, to where you need to be. It might be in the spotlight, because naturally people are drawn to those who have this bright light inside of them, who shine forth, and of course that attracts good and bad things to you. Sometimes it attracts narcissists to you. Like, this person was obviously attracted to you, but they still tried to stifle your light. They tried to take away who you were naturally. But I think here you're rising above the rest. You're rising above the crowd, but it's only because you're coming back into contact with who you truly are. And I think you're reprioritizing your independence in a lot of ways, like financially, emotionally, with your own stability, taking back the mystery of it all. I know that sounds weird, but it's almost like maybe this person was so controlling, maybe they controlled your finances and like your house and your possessions and things like that, and so some things seem like a mystery to you. You weren't able to learn because someone else was doing it all for you, and now you have to do it for yourself. And so you're learning about how to take control over all of the kind of day-to-day mundane things that are very important. And I think in the future you're going to be healing in the sense where you're going to be making a lot of discoveries about yourself, a lot of self-discovery here. What is it that you truly want? What's going to bring you the most happiness? Is it children? Is it a stable home? Is it having financial freedom? Is it being able to travel whenever you want? Is it being able to experiment in relationships? Is that something that you need to go through because maybe this other relationship that you came out of was so stifling and toxic and traumatizing that you need to go on a journey of self-discovery? And sometimes that is through experiencing other people. So I am just getting here that you're coming into yourself here. You're really developing, letting your light shine again, finding out who it really is. Like, you were sleeping on your abilities here because this person put you to sleep. It's like they put a spell on you and you are not allowing that to happen anymore. You've left them in the dust. Like, this person is just completely in the past. Don't even think about them. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting that there's so much more for you to look forward to, and you shine such a bright light, Aquarius. But I hope this resonated. If it did, give the video a like, subscribe, and hopefully I will catch you in a future video. Take care. Bye.